Salvete discipuli. Hello, sixth grade. So my remote students, we are doing a project that's going to be over the course of the next couple weeks, not including Thanksgiving. You don't have to do any of this over Thanksgiving. The on-campus students are going to mostly be doing this in class. So you've got a little bit of time to get this all finished. We're going to take a couple weeks on this project. So this week we learned some vocabulary words for different types of food that the ancient Romans ate. And we're going to be using that vocabulary to create a menu. So you're going to pretend that you have an ancient Roman restaurant, and you are going to create a menu for your restaurant. Now, again, keep in mind that most Roman meals were fairly simple. Dinner was a little bit more extravagant, but we're going to just kind of have some fun with this. It doesn't have to be accurate historically or anything like that. But I just kind of wanted to walk you guys through what the expectations are and what you guys need to get done each week. So to start off with part one, this is what you need to do for this week. This is going to be our rough draft. So you're going to come up with a name for your restaurant. And for your rough draft on this handout that I have on Google Classroom, I've got the kind of rough draft set up for you. So you're just basically going to fill this out. You can print it out and handwrite it. And then you'll just either send me a picture of it, or if you want to just fill it in here and submit it through Google Classroom, that's totally fine too. Make sure you include your name. You'll come up with a name for your restaurant. You can have your restaurant name be whatever you want as long as it's appropriate. You can name it after yourself. You can have some fun and use some of our Latin words that we've learned. It doesn't have to be in Latin if you don't want it to. The restaurant name is just kind of for you to get creative on your own. If you want it to be in Latin, you wanted to say something that we haven't learned, feel free to email me. I'm happy to help you with that if you like. So that's the first thing, is come up with a restaurant name. And then you're going to come up with at least 10 menu items. You can always do more if you're getting really into it and you want to add some more options, you can, but you need to have at least 10 to get full credit. And kind of the fun thing with this is you can combine some of our Latin words to make some more creative dishes. So, for example, we have our word for bread, which is panis, right? If you wanted to do like bread and cheese as a meal, you could have panis et caseus. So we'll use the Latin word et for and. I'll add that onto this document so that it's there for you. If you want to add in multiple foods, you just use the conjunction et, meaning and, to combine different foods together. So panis et caseus is going to be bread and cheese. So you can do like that for a menu item. You can combine whatever foods you want to kind of make them a little bit more interesting and exciting instead of just having apples as an option. You can make like a fruit platter where you have different various fruits together. So 10 total items. So this would be counting as one menu item, right? If you combine it together, panis et caseus, like bread and cheese, is going to be one menu item, if that makes sense. All right, so you're going to come up with 10, at least 10 menu items, and you kind of want to organize your menu items. Typically on menus, food items are organized by like appetizers or lunch or dinner, things like that. Since we learned the Latin words for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's how we're going to organize our menus. So you can kind of come up with one or two breakfast items, have a couple of lunch items, and then have dinner. Remember, dinner is the main meal, so you want to have most of your menu items be under the dinner section. I will also tell you how to do dessert items if you want. If you want a dessert section, sorry, I forgot to add that onto this list. I will add that on here as to how to do a dessert section if you like. So 10 items, organize them, figure out which ones you want for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or dessert, and then that's going to be how you'll organize it when we do our final draft, which is kind of figure out how you want it organized. And then you're going to come up with prices for each item using our Roman numerals, plus the Latin word denarii. Denarius is a Roman silver coin. We're just going to use that as our way of saying money for this particular project. It doesn't have to be accurate. If you want to make all of your menu items super expensive and make it like 100 denarii, you can. That's entirely up to you, but you need to give each one a price using our Roman numerals. So if you need a refresher, go back and check out our Roman numerals slides to remind yourself how those work. So I gave you an example here. One item might be IX, which is 9, right? Denarii. So, and again, I've given you places on the Google Doc to fill that all in. So you'll come up with your menu items, come up with a price for each item, and come up with your restaurant name. And that's what you need to do for this week. Once you have that all sorted, you're going to send your rough draft to me by the end of this week. If you have questions, please email me. Let me know if there's Latin words or if there's foods you want to include that we didn't learn the Latin word for. Do keep in mind that the ancient Romans didn't have all the same kinds of food that we do today. So you're not going to be able to put pizza or hamburgers or anything like that on your menu because it didn't exist in ancient Rome. So we want to keep this kind of accurate to the types of food they had in ancient Rome. Now, for the week after Thanksgiving, right? Because next week is Thanksgiving. You have it off. You don't have to do any work for that. The week after Thanksgiving is when we're going to start putting together our final draft of our project, our final menu. And for this, you want to have fun with it. Make it look nice. Get creative with it. Use construction paper. You can just use plain white paper if you want, but make sure you decorate it. You want it to look really nice, right? Think about menus you've seen when you go to restaurants and how like colorful and fancy they look, okay? Now, how you want to put together your menu is up to you. Typically, menus like are kind of like booklets, so you can have that where they open up and the menu's inside. There are sometimes menus where it's just a single sheet. You can do that if you want. I would recommend having it more like a booklet style. If you want to add multiple pages, you can to spread things out. You're going to use coloring supplies, decorate your menu, make it fun, right? Your front page of your menu, or if you have it in just a sheet, you want at the top, make sure your restaurant name is in nice big letters that you can read. That's what you want to have nice big display. So your restaurant name should be either at the top if you're doing it like this, or on the front page of your menu. Inside your menu, you need to have the Latin, each of your menu items listed in Latin. If you want to include the English translation for each menu item as well, you can, but the Latin has to be there to get full credit. You need to illustrate 5 of your menu items. So pick 5 of your items that you want to draw a little picture for, right? Sometimes some menus, they're not necessarily going to have pictures of every single food item, but a lot of times there will be pictures here and there scattered throughout a menu. So you're going to pick 5 of them. So bread and cheese, right? They don't have to be super fancy pictures, but make them colorful. And then add like decorative borders if you want to use stickers or cut out pictures from that you print out from the internet. That's totally fine. The things you need to have are 10 menu items that are in Latin. You can add English as well, but they have to have the Latin. You need to illustrate 5 of your menu items. You need to have the prices for each menu item, and you need to have a restaurant name, and it needs to be decorated and creative and colorful, right? Make it look nice. All right, no just pencil. There needs to be color on here. Your writings of your menu items should either be in pen, right? Or if you're using like colored pencils, they can be in colored pencils, but I don't want you to just have pencil, just plain pencil on there, right? It can't just be plain pencil. You can do that as part of your rough draft as you're sketching it out. But the final draft should look a bit more polished, okay? And then last but not least, your rough draft, make sure your name is somewhere on it. And then when you finish your rough draft, again, this will be the week after Thanksgiving. You'll have that whole week to work on it, and then it'll be due the following week. If you have any questions, if there's foods you want to include, or if you have questions about what foods you can include, please email me, or if you want to set up a Zoom meeting to talk about your menu, I'm more than happy to do that. But have fun with this. Again, for this week, you just need to do the rough draft, which is on this Google Doc. So you just need to fill this out and submit it either straight on Google Classroom. You can just type onto the Google Doc, Or if you want to print it out and fill it out by hand, you can send me a picture or submit a picture on Google Classroom. So that's all you have to do for this week. The final draft you don't have to do until the week after Thanksgiving. I'll kind of post this again the week after to remind you guys that that's what you need to do. And again, have fun with it. And email me with any questions. Otherwise, good luck, enjoy. Make sure you check out the food vocabulary video and those slides so you have your food vocab. But yeah, otherwise, I will see you in the next video, and enjoy this week and have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Walete Diskipuli.